Are you dating someone right now and want to know if he or she's the one for you? Or are you not getting along with your coworker or boss at work? Chinese Zodiac can help you determine your compatibility with another person. Hello, I'm Moon. Today, I'll be joined by feng shui expert and astrologer Donna Stellhorn on how Chinese Zodiac can help you evaluate your compatibility with a lover, family member, friend, or coworker. So Donna, when I used to date, I used to always want to know on the very first date, I swear to God, what the zodiac sign of my date is. And how can we use Chinese Zodiac to help us determine our compatibility with another person?
Well, you are so smart. To find out their Chinese Zodiac sign will tell you all kinds of things about their personality. So that will help you know what they like, what they don't like, and whether you truly are going to be compatible.
Okay, so you're going to show us how to use two different animals to show us compatibility?
Yes. Now, in the Chinese system, every year is a different animal. And while the year almost works, the year changes in January or February. If you're born in January or February, you do want to look up what your sign is. But most of the time, we know instantly what the sign of the person we're with is.
Right. So how do you know that? Isn't it like a 12-year cycle or something like that?
It is a 12-year cycle.
Okay.
And so, for instance, let's say you're born year of the rabbit, right, and the person that you're seeing is also born the same year as you are.
Okay.
Well, then you're both rabbits.
Okay. So then, are you going to show us what combinations of animals work well and what don't work well?
Well, as you can do the math, that would be 144 combinations, so
right,
more than we can do right here. Okay. But let's say you're just born the same year.
Right.
That means you're the same animal.
Right.
So what happens when you put two of the same animal together? Like putting together two little rabbits.
Right.
Well, with two little rabbits, we get more rabbits.
Okay. So you're going to talk about some combination of zodiacs now.
Yes.
To show us what is more compatible and what's less compatible.
Yes.
So what do you have here? What animals do you have? What can you show us and tell us about compatibility with these animals that you have right here?
Well, even if you don't know your sign, you'll know if you are 1 year apart or born the same year. So here I have a pair of rabbits. Now, two rabbits would be either born the same year or they'd be 12 years apart. Right. So if you put two of the same animal together, you know you have some natural compatibility. Right. But you also can have the excess of that energy. Right. So a couple of rabbits together makes for a lot of rabbits. So our fertility energy goes through the roof.
Okay, so it's because it's not balanced.
Because it's not balanced, exactly.
Okay, so two of the same signs is not necessarily good.
Correct. Remember that you have a lot that's compatible, but then you have a lot of extra energy because you have a lot of the same.
Okay. So can you show us now which animals go together really well and which animals don't go together that well?
Yeah.
Specifically?
If you are 2 years apart from somebody, then like our tiger and dragon here, then you're going to have a balance of the energies. Tiger is a very powerful energy, one that's going to go after what they want. Right. Whereas dragon is this big, gigantic, thinking big, wants to be a leader. So this is a compatible amount of energy. Very powerful, but compatible.
Okay, is there anything negative between these two as well?
Well, there is a problem that nobody here is grounded enough to actually make dinner.
Oh,
so they're going to order out.
Oh, I see. Okay. So nobody's going to cook in this relationship.
That one's tough, yeah.
That sounds like a relationship that I'd like to be in because I'm the one that does all the cooking and cleans. So that's not really necessarily negative.
It's not necessarily a negative.
Okay, so there's no other negative for these two?
Not really. When you are just 2 years apart with someone, there's a lot of compatibility.
Okay. So what other signs that you can tell us that are really compatible? The two animals, I should say.
Well, if you are then 4 signs apart, you're really compatible.
Okay.
So I didn't bring an example here of that, but what you're looking for is just a few years difference, and that helps a lot.
Okay, so 2 to 3, not 4. 4
animals feels good.
Okay, right.
Yes. So, but what most people ask me about is the incompatible.
Yes, we really want to know about the incompatible because, you know, we want to really stay away from people that are not good for us because a lot of us get into bad relationships all the time.
Yes.
So what
And
animals?
the most common one
Right.
is just 1 year apart from you.
Oh, I see.
Now we have 2 animals that are grading on each other.
Right.
For example, today I brought the pig with the dog.
Right.
So now you would think, well, they're both part of the barnyard, so
Right.
maybe they're compatible.
Right.
But here the dog wants to herd and say, oh, you go over here and you go over there, whereas the pig is like, I'm really comfortable right here.
Right.
I don't want to move. So we have 2 animals that we find this in couples a lot, where there's a lot of just a little anxiety, a little frustration that's happening.
So does it get worse over the years? Like if you're 1 year apart, like the more you're married, the worse it gets?
Well, that's the good news. Actually, when you're only 1 year apart, the longer you're in the relationship, the closer you get.
Oh, I see.
The better it gets.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So when does it start to get really bad? Like how many years? Like, because my husband and I are 6 years apart.
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
The 6 year apart relationship is the most difficult. So here I brought the horse, and this is Year of the Horse, and I brought rats. And so these 2 are on the opposite sides. And so there's a lot of this combative energy back and forth. This one takes the most effort, the most understanding, and the most work.
So 6 years is the worst. But how about 12 years? I would think 12 years would be worse than 6 years, or 8 years.
But actually, the 12 years puts us back at our rabbits.
All right.
They're the same size.
I'm so bad at math. I'm really an embarrassment to Asians because I didn't calculate that. So how about 8, 9, or 10 years?
Well, we're going around a wheel. So when we're at 10 years, what are we really
2
separated?
years.
We're separated by 2
Oh,
years.
yes, Donna. Thank you for
yes, so
enlightening.
think of it as a wheel.
Right, I get
Yes.
it. See, again, I'm really bad at math. That's the wheel really visualizes it for us.
Yes.
Okay, so so just to recap, the number of years, the less it is, the more compatible you are.
Unless we're only 1 year apart, and
Yeah.
then we have irritations and we
Right.
have stress, but stay together, work at it, and it will get better and better.
Okay, so in terms of 1 year people, what kind of suggestions do you give and advice about, you know, how they can try to make this relationship last as long as possible?
Well, you know, we slip into these personality roles. And so what I really recommend is that everybody read about their personality and find the compatible points.
Right.
So the dog is loyal and the pig wants to make you comfortable. This is a great combination as long as that's being done with love, an intention of love behind it.
Right, okay. Any other advice you could give about incompatibility with these signs that people want to look out for, red flags?
Yes, when you are doing the opposite sign, when it is really tough, then it does take a little bit longer, more patience. You know, in this particular case, I brought the horse, you know, and the horse is big and strong and popular and just prancing out there. And then a little tiny mouse is going to get trampled.
Right.
So the horse has to stop and listen to the little mouse. And the mouse, who's running a mile a minute, has to slow down a little bit and let the horse catch up.
Okay.
So that it takes a lot more time.
Okay. So Donna, can you tell us which zodiac animals have more firepower, more aggressiveness, and which animals are a little bit more sensitive?
Well, yes, absolutely. You know, our most sensitive ones are the rabbit and the ram. And I know you'd be surprised to think that ram is going to be sensitive, but the ram feels like I want to mind my own business. And then when the ram's upset, then we get the horns. So
Okay.
but our most powerful ones, and not surprising, are tiger and dragon. But you're gonna find a lot of power in rooster, in monkey, in horse. And so yes, you would think that, well, maybe if I pair a sensitive animal with a powerful animal, I'll have a balance.
Yeah.
But in this case, opposites don't attract. We want power with power, sensitivity with sensitivity, and then we have harmony.
I see. So which ones are more sensitive? Which animals are more sensitive?
The most sensitive one is the pig. The pig is one that really feels a connection to people, really wants to make you comfortable. That's the one that's going to cook you this beautiful meal and make you feel at home.
That's okay. So the pig, because I got married the year of the golden pig.
That's perfect.
So is that gonna being married in that zodiac year? Is that gonna bring more prosperity into my life?
Well, it brings more comfort into your life.
Okay.
So,
Oh, really?
because pig is more concerned with, well, what's on the table? Are the pillows fluffed? Does the house look great? And so what we're looking for there is a comfortable surrounding.
So what final words can you give to our audience about, how to really use a Chinese zodiac to really help you, be more compatible with important people in your lives?
Well, one of the most important things is to really have integrity in who we are.
Right.
So we want to connect with our own sign. So one thing that you can do is you can find little figurines or a little stuffed version of your animal.
I see.
And that reminds you to be yourself.
Okay, so actually get a figurine or prop or a stuffed animal, and where do we place this?
You could place it in your bedroom, or you could place it in your family room. It could sit on a little chair and just remind you it's always best to be ourselves.
Should we also have a figurine or doll of our partner's zodiac sign?
Yes, you can put the two together, or better still, if we talk about love, we could put the animal that you want and the animal you are and put them together and attract who you want.
Oh, I see. How about at the office? How about, everybody's trying to be compatible or harmonious with people in the office. What should we do there? Should we place some figurines in the office?
I would probably put them in a drawer. We want to keep it subtle there.
Okay. But in terms of, the same principles, using the same principles.
The same principle applies.
Right.
And so you know that when you find out what your boss's sign is, then you can find out a lot about what that boss wants from you and what's going to irritate them.
So, Donna, what is the polite way to ask somebody what their Chinese zodiac sign is? Because like I said, on those dates, I always wanted to know, but I felt like I would always scare them off. So how do you kind of, ask in a polite, what do you say to people? Do you just say, what is your Chinese zodiac?
Well, one of the things I've done is say, well, let's go to a Chinese restaurant. Because oftentimes they'll have the placemat that has the different signs. And then I could say, oh, this one's me. Which one is you?
That is brilliant. Chinese restaurant. Okay, and I have a show about how to use how to use chopsticks in a Chinese restaurant. Okay, so that sounds great. Thank you, Donna, for this wonderful information. So these are wonderful tips on how you could be more harmonious with the important people in your lives. Donna has more information about Chinese Zodiac, and she has a book out every year on Chinese Zodiac. So please visit her website at fengshuiforum.com to get it online. Thanks for joining us. For all of my Asian living tips, visit my website at yinyangliving.com. Thank you. 고맙습니다.